I thought I'd show you how to tie a solid PVA bag. Well, the way I tie it anyway. Everyone's got their different types of ways to do it. This is that's the kind of thing that I'm tying up, which tends to work. I just use a sort of a flat shape lead, inline lead, and I'm going to basically just show you how I do it. So these are the new Ability solid bags, 6x12. Very, very good, have to say. When the guys gave them to me, I have to say, when I first got them out of the packet, I wasn't that impressed. I thought, here we go, what's this? But they just handle so nicely. They don't stick together. They melt very, very quickly, even in cold water. I've been testing them last couple of weeks, really, and they are really, really good. I mean, it is January, so the water is cold. But let me just show you how I put them together, really. So I'll just talk you through the rig. I've got one in here that I use. It's rarely let me down. Well, it hasn't at all. It's fairly simple. It's a short 3 or 4 inch section of the Ability coated brown in 25 pounds. This is uncoated. I've just stripped it back here just to enable a little bit of movement. A bit of putty there just to keep it pinned down, and then it's just connected by loop to loop just to this ring swivel here. So on the business end, I've got the Ability liner, which is very supple, but it's also stiff enough to maintain its gape. I've got the Ability size 6 barbless curve shank. Just got a little rig ring there, almost blowback style, really. And then just hook bait wise, I've just got sort of a nutty sort of flavour wafter, which I always trim down, especially this time of year. I don't want to give them a big bait. I just want something inconspicuous. Just as they're rummaging through the bag, they can just pick up. So let me just show you how I go about putting this together. So there's the bag like this. A lot of people are put off by solid bags, but once you've had practice in tying them, they're very, very effective. I mean, it's just a very small amount of bait, perfectly presented hook bait every single time, and you can cast like a bullet. Alright, so just lower that in like so. I always like to just shimmy that across so the hook bait's right in the corner, and make sure that hook is completely separate. What I then like to do is just get whatever chosen flavouring. I think this is pineapple, don't think it really matters. I always like to do this, just squeeze a bit of that in. Now, especially, I normally tie these up well in advance, so by doing this with your flavouring, I mean, that's given, it's given ages to soak into the hook bait, and it's only going to help you out, basically. So once you've got that all separated, in here I've just got some micro pellet, different types of pellet, different shapes, mainly just to keep them guessing, but they all break down at different rates, thus pumping attraction in at different times into your chosen spot where you've cast, and hopefully letting them home in on the hook bait. So just fill those in there, just keep giving it a little tap. And just fill this up all the way to the top. Well, probably not all the way to the top, but you'll see in a minute how I bash this down. I'll just give that a little shimmy, and that should stand up like that. You don't have to use that little cone thing. I just find it a lot easier to pack them down. Right, now once this has got to about this stage, let's just pop a little bit more in there. Just just blow it. That keeps it open long enough. Now this is the bit that a few people cringe at, but pinch it at the top, give it a little shake, a little tap. Don't be afraid. As long as you've got a good quality PVA bag, and this is, it will handle a good whack, and that is just hammering down. You can imagine it's a bit like Tetris. All the little different size pellets are just nodging in next to each other, just squeezing out any air. And then you're left with that. So it's probably say it's about 1 inch from the top. And this is the nice easy bit really. Just lick your finger and imagine four sort of wet lines you're putting in it, and then just round the outside. Then it's difficult. You get this if you just practice. You know when your fingers are just wet enough. Don't want it too wet, and that's just to grab like this and twist down and pushing down like this. Twist, 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 and just hold it, and that's pretty solid now. And that is ready to be connected loop to loop to your main line. Pop a little bit of putty if you wish. The other thing I like to do is just, which you've probably seen before, is just push those corners in like so, and this just enables it to be a bit more aerodynamic. Give them a lick, flick them down, there we go, and that will cast a fair old whack, and it's very, very successful. So there you are, there's my Ability solid PVA bag. Very good if you do it well in advance. I normally tie 6 or so up just to get me off to a start. If you're on the fish, it's very comforting having a few ready to go in the bucket. You can keep that fish in the net. Another one on, loop to loop, buzz it back out on the spot. Job's a good one. Cheers.